Welcome to the Mountain Valor Podcast. Our guest today is Bradley Strahm from CHP Energy Solutions. Bradley joined Community Housing Partners in the spring of 2021 with an extensive career in business and brand development. Prior to working in weatherization and energy efficiency, Bradley worked as a brand director for several prominent brands in the outdoor industry for nearly 2 decades, growing brands worldwide, developing teams, and launching a variety of successful projects. As a part of the CHP Energy Solutions team, Bradley now manages partnerships, marketing, and outreach initiatives that amplify and promote the impactful services provided to clients throughout the Commonwealth. Bradley is passionate about preserving the environment, enjoying the outdoors, and helping clients connect with energy efficient programs. Bradley holds a Bachelor of Science degree in Environmental Science from Stockton University. Welcome to the podcast, Bradley.
Hey, Nick, good to see you again, and thank you so much for having me on. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for being on. We love having partners on so that veterans and their families can see what's available to them, that something they may not have ever heard of or don't know that they even qualify for.
Yeah, I love the work that Mountain Valor is doing, and really appreciate you guys having us on so that we can hopefully provide some information to some of the veterans that are listening and connect them with some of the programs and services that we offer.
Awesome. Let's get started. You spent nearly 2 decades as a brand director for major global outdoor brands. What was the moment that led you to the transition from the world of global brand growth to serving as at the Commonwealth through weatherization and energy efficiency? Sorry.
No. So, I worked in the outdoor industry for quite a while, and I was really passionate about the outdoors, backpacking, hiking, camping, fishing, kayaking, all that stuff. And so, had a great time working in that industry. A lot of great companies, great people to work with. Really just kind of came to the realization that I'm just making a company more and more money and selling products to people that probably already have a lot of those products, and wanted to kind of start giving back and doing something good for various communities, and really just trying to feed my soul and do something that had a really good purpose and connect folks with these kinds of programs that we do here at Energy Solutions. And so I didn't know anything about weatherization prior to me joining this industry. And I really didn't know what it was about. And being here and working with the team, I've been here now for about 5 years. It's been just amazing. Every day, the entire team gives back, just trying to connect folks with these programs and services. And we really look forward to trying to connect more folks through this with our weatherization and energy efficiency programs, and hopefully connect more folks through these services.
Awesome. And branding for the outdoor industry is often about selling an aspiration.
Yeah.
But branding for CHP Energy Solutions is about delivering a fundamental human need. How has your background in storytelling helped you amplify a message that makes low to moderate income families might not even know what exists out there?
Right. So I think whether you're selling a product or selling a service, it's really just trying to understand what people need, what they're interested in, and how to connect them to that. So I think like leveraging kind of that experience and sales background and marketing background has really helped try to connect on a ground level with various communities, agencies, other organizations that connect these programs with folks as well, and really trying to find messaging that provides validity about these programs, and that shows that this is a trustworthy thing that they can be a part of and feel really good about. And then once we kind of get into a community and start to show what these programs do and the benefits of them, it usually kind of waterfalls down. And next thing you know, you're telling your friends, your family, your neighbors, and it really starts to spread. So it's really cool to see.
Yeah, that is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
CHP started with a group of volunteers sealing windows in the New River Valley. How does that boots on the ground volunteer spirit still influence the culture of the organization today, 50 years later?
Yeah, it's pretty wild to think that this happened 50 years now. Here in the New River Valley, a group of volunteers used to just go around and try to air seal and caulk windows and try to tighten up doors for folks. And it's kind of evolved into this bigger company and corporation that we are today. And so I think that grassroots mentality has always been with us. Energy Solutions not too long ago was kind of still in that grassroots phase, and we've been growing over the years. I think when I first came on 5 years ago, I was employee number 45, and we're up to about 90 employees now. So we've really been growing to meet the need and making sure that we're serving all of our territories and trying to connect with partners, organizations, various communities, and it's really worked. I think in the last 5 years, we've tripled our applications. So more and more folks know about these programs and are getting served, which is really the goal of it all.
Right. Wow.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So tell me, people hear weatherization and they think of windows and doors, but you focus on making homes healthier and safer. Can you explain the impact of these programs have on the families that actually go through this program?
Yeah, so you touched on it. So our mission is really to make sure that all the homes that we serve, and so our entire work is rooted on site-built, stick-built homes, mobile homes, manufactured homes, multifamily properties, all for the low to moderate income communities. And we really want to make sure that after our work is done, the homes are safer, more comfortable, healthier, and we're lowering that utility bill of yours. So it's really impactful work. A lot of people think, windows, doors, maybe even roofs, but really it's kind of the inside your home stuff that you don't see. We like to refer to it as like the building envelope of your home. So it's got a lot to do with the insulation levels in your home, whether or not you have that in your walls, your floor, your ceilings. We're looking to duct seal your duct work, air seal all the small cavities and openings that you have in your home. And then we're even looking at things like your HVAC mechanicals, your hot water heaters. We're going to do some wrap on your pipes, kitchen and bathroom aerators, LEDs. So it can be really big things to very small things that all kind of come together and drive a really big impact at your home. Some clients say that, they even see like a 50% reduction in their utility bill after our work is complete. So it's really impactful. And then from a health perspective, we're really making sure that we're getting the proper air changes that are happening in that home, trying to get some moisture out of that home. So that way the air quality is better, and that can help with a lot of different health issues. Obviously, if we're doing all this work in your home, it's going to make it more comfortable as well. So just a lot of different features that are really just better for whether families, no matter what kind of housing stock you live in.
Right. And those things also help the mental attitude of the family. There's so many other benefits beyond just what you're physically doing. There are so many more benefits out there. And it's interesting as you're talking about, leaky windows and all. I mean, we live in a 100-year-old house, and we have all of those things. And, every year we do a couple of different projects to try to do things. But in some cases, it is what it is. And it's like, without a major rebuild, it's like, okay, this is kind of what we're stuck with, and we bought the home and we knew that this is what we were buying. But when you talk about all those things, it's like, I can 100% relate on that.
And that's what a lot of our clients are dealing with too, right? They're in the home that they're in, and you're just trying to figure out ways to how do I lower my utility bill? How do I make this more comfortable? And so, there are some things that you can certainly do yourself, right? Whether it's weather stripping, caulking, but there's all these things behind the walls or the attic space or the crawl space that you're probably not going to, you might go down there if something's broken, but generally you're not going to go down there and look to air seal every single penetration that's been done. And if you live in a 100-year-old home, the amount of people that have been living there before you have put penetrations in various spots. We like to say that, like, generally when we're done air sealing a home, we fill up the amount of space that's equal to a basketball. So just think about having a basketball size hole in one of your walls that goes to the outside, and all that cold or hot air that's just going back and forth, right? And that's just so much loss, and it's just driving up that bill. So yeah, there's some stuff that you can certainly do yourself, but hopefully we can come in and really look in all the places that you're not trying to look yourself.
Right. Well, and the other thing is the expertise, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you would have to have the expertise and how do I do all these things? Whereas that's what you bring to the table is you bring that expertise of, hey, we can do all of this stuff. We can check everything. And whether CHP Energy Solutions can do it all, at least you have the knowledge of, hey, here's where your problems are. And so here's what you fix first if you can't do everything, and if CHP Energy Solutions can't fix everything, but at least like you said, hey, you've got this basketball size hole in your wall that you don't even know that's there, and that's that's very helpful as well, I think.
Yeah, and the expertise, you're right. So I mean, we have some guys on staff that have been here for 40 years.
Wow.
So think about so they've seen the program expand, the measures or improvements that we're allowed to do at the home, how they have grown, how the program has evolved, and all that knowledge just waterfalls down to folks like me who come from a different industry and then join and then start learning about all this. And it just keeps getting better and better and better and more impactful, I think, every year. So it's really great to see.
So you serve 47 localities and 4,500 households a year. For a nonprofit, that's a massive operational lift. What are the unique leadership challenges of managing nearly 20 different programs and funds simultaneously?
It's complex. It's really complex, right? So we're serving anywhere from the DMV region over to Winchester, down the Shenandoah Valley to Waynesburg and Stanton. And then we kind of skip a little bit down here to the New River Valley. We work in Southern Virginia and South Hill, and then all the way over to Virginia Beach and Portsmouth and some of those localities there. So yeah, our entire footprint makes up 47 localities. It's about half the state of Virginia. So we have offices scattered throughout those footprints as well. And yes, like I said before, we serve single family. This is available for homeowners and renters. And so, yeah, it's a complex system, right? We've got 20 programs or funding streams. Each one has its own different eligibility criteria or allowable measures that we're allowed to do. So we actually have an intake team that when a client applies, which you can go to chpenergysolutions.org, and our application is right there on the homepage. It'll show what the income eligibility is and the amount of members in your household. There's a eligibility limit for each different household total. And then you can apply there. And then our intake team will look over your information, let you know if you're eligible or not. And then down the road, we'll look to schedule an energy audit at your home. So an energy auditor will come out to your home. They'll go up in the attic, go in the crawl space if you have one, look all inside your house, make a list of all the measures that we're going to be able to do at your home. And then sometime after that, we'll come out and actually install those measures. So if you're trying to do that for 20 programs, 47 localities, there's just a lot of moving parts. So our leadership has really ramped up in the hiring that I mentioned earlier as well. And they were very thoughtful about, we're going to need to meet people where they are and try to meet this need that just is growing and growing every year. And I think they've done a really good job of that in a few different ways. So they've started hiring folks from different backgrounds, kind of like myself. We have some software folks on the team, data analysts. And so it just kind of really runs the gamut of different experiences to kind of help us kind of scale up as we continue to grow. And then I think looking at like new tools too. So, a lot of the weatherization network, CHP included 5 years ago, we were just running off of like spreadsheets and very simple document kind of stuff, right? Yeah. And so now we have a really nice CRM, like a customer service management software platform that we use. And it really helps us stay organized for whether we're interacting with clients or we're trying to schedule production. It really helps us kind of move forward and grow that number of households that we can serve every year.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. And so this is a no cost program to the client, but how do you get past the skepticism of the client saying, you're really going to come here and do this for free. I don't, I don't have any costs in this. Or, and maybe also address when, the renter wants this done, but maybe the landlord it hasn't really bought in. How do you get over that type of hurdle?
That's a great question. That's been probably the biggest challenge that we've really had to think through, and how we're going to connect with all these different communities. We have various communities throughout the 47 localities that we serve. So when we first came up with the business development team and started thinking through an outreach strategy, what we wanted to do was kind of really build a foundation of partnerships. So we went out and started to work with various faith-based advocacy, community groups, governmental agencies, and all these different localities, because we know that folks that are in those communities are already going to those organizations for assistance, for help, for guidance. They're already trusted partnerships, right? So if we kind of tie in with those trusted partnerships, hopefully they're able to recommend or refer us, and some of those communities start to trust us as we come into those communities more and more and start showing the work that we do. I think that's really where it's rooted, right? You've got to show the work. You've got to go in and actually perform, and then everybody can kind of see the benefits of these programs. But it is tough. It's tough because right now there's a lot of scams around energy efficiency, solar. So trying to overcome that in new communities that we move into is always a challenge. And I think the strategy that we've employed before is kind of something that we'll continue moving forward. And luckily, we've seen dividends, and I think just getting in there and finding trusted partners that are already connected, it really makes a big difference.
And how do you manage partners across the state? How do you get utility companies? I mean, I know a lot of government agencies, but how do you get those types of partners to really understand the need and be willing to to do some things that aren't just always profit based? Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it's a challenge, right? So we have 20 programs that are funding streams that we manage for the entire Commonwealth, or the 47 localities that we serve. Here in the New River Valley, we have 7 programs that we manage and operate. The key ones being the Federal Weatherization Assistance Program and the Appalachian Power Energy Efficiency Program. Those are going to be the really resilient and strong programs here in the New River Valley that are completely funded, completely no cost to the homeowner, completely no cost to the landlord. And so, as a nonprofit, we kind of have to kind of look for programs that we can be a part of and that we can administer. Luckily, there's some really great advocacy organizations here in the state of Virginia that are advocating for energy efficiency and looking to grow these programs and work with the feds or the state or the utility companies to really explain to them that these programs are very beneficial, not only for the health and safety and lowering energy bill, but it lowers the energy on the grid, makes homes more resilient, where folks can really age in place. If you're elderly, you don't have to look to move. You can stay in that home of yours that's been in your family for a while. And allows folks to also spend money in a lot of different areas that is of need, right? Whether it's childcare, medicine, clothing, food, everything's really expensive right now. And so this just allows folks to have more available funds to spend in other ways. And I think that's another gigantic impact that probably doesn't get talked about enough.
Okay. And you mentioned 7 programs in the New River Valley. Can you kind of give us a one over the world of what those programs look like?
Yeah. So the Weatherization Assistance Program is going to be kind of our tentpole program here in the New River Valley. And that's going to be your classic weatherization program, where we're going to come in, do that energy audit, look for all the different measures that we can install in your home. And the big things that we're going to do there are going to be that insulation, air sealing, duct sealing. And then Appalachian Power is an amazing partner as well. They have a very robust energy efficiency program. It very much mirrors the weatherization program as well. The great thing about the Appalachian Power Program is that we're also able to look at your HVAC systems as well. So that's a high dollar item, especially to the LMI community, where we might be able to come in and look at that aging or inefficient heat pump or straight AC, depending on what you have. We might be able to replace that unit. If we can't, we can look to do like a clean and tune, which will make it more efficient and it'll run a little bit better. All of these programs here in the New River Valley are based on 60% state median income. It's a kind of a confusing thing, right? Like, what is state median income and how do you calculate that? But you don't have to. You can just go to our website right there on our homepage at chpenergysolutions.org. We'll have a breakdown of that income. And then you can apply right then and there. And so, yeah, we're serving folks in the New River Valley every week. And so hopefully some folks hear about this program and want to sign up.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's another benefit to this weatherization program because it's also a job creator. How has CHP Energy Solutions contributed to the specialized workforce in the New River Valley and maybe across the entire Commonwealth?
Yeah, so we like to say it's a shovel-ready industry. So folks can come right in, get to work. We actually train folks ourselves. We have a training center here in Christiansburg, Virginia. We also have another training center in Baltimore, Maryland. And it's a BPI certified training center where folks can come in. If you're part of the weatherization network, we train you, certify you, get you ready to enter the workforce for weatherization. We do this in the state of Virginia. We do it for other states. Other agencies from all over the country come and train at our training facility. We have other courses that are outside the scope of weatherization as well. And we're just continuing to look to grow our training center capabilities to really expand the workforce possibilities here in the Commonwealth.
That's pretty cool. I would have never even put that in with what you do. That's pretty wild. And
yeah, it's really, really neat.
CHP hiring them, or are you training them and then someone else is hiring them to be a subcontractor to CHP Energy Solutions?
It can really be a little bit of everything and anything. So the training center really focuses on the current and best building science practices and principles. They have got a bevy of in-person and online courses. We will train our own staff. We train other weatherization agency staff here in the state, and then they go back and work there's 13 agencies here in the state of Virginia. And then the Weatherization Assistance Program is available in all 50 states. And there's X amount of agencies in every single state. There's only so many training centers throughout the entire country. So depending on where you're located, you might come to ours, you might go to another one. But yeah, we train folks that come from Montana, Vermont, South Carolina, all over the place. And then our trainers will also go to other states and perform quality assurance testing and various different other services that the states might need that they're not able to fulfill themselves in state.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean,
yeah, it's really cool.
You're doing that with 90 people. You guys are wow. You guys do a lot.
Thought of it all. They really thought of it all. Yeah.
Yeah,
you should come down to the training center. It's a really cool place. There's a lot of really neat hands-on things. Because obviously, right, the best way to learn is just getting in there, getting involved. They have one course called Retrofit Installer Technician. And every new CHP Energy Solutions employee goes through the RIT course. So whether or not you're an administrative person who's just managing some paperwork and submissions, or you're a crew leader or a crew technician or a business development guy like myself, you go through this course, and it's a great way to really understand the work that happens at the homes that we go to. You get messy, you're dealing with mastic and you're spray foaming stuff and you're blowing some insulation. So you really get a great understanding of what the crew guys have to go through and the impact that it actually brings to the home. So yeah, come on down. We'll put you through a class.
Yeah. So where's that? Is that in Radford?
It's in Christiansburg.
In Christiansburg. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Right off the motor mile.
Yeah. So, I may have to take you up on that.
Yeah. Come on down. It'll be fun.
Let's talk a little bit about you. As someone passionate about preserving the environment, how do you see the intersection of affordable housing and energy efficiency? Can we have one without the other?
Yeah, I know. Great question. I think, every year that we go forward, right, we can see the housing crisis is kind of just more and more prominent. Costs are going up. Just it's harder to live, right? Especially if you're in a low to moderate income
Right.
household or community somewhere. And so I think that they are certainly tied. Um, I think you see a great intersection between energy efficiency and housing, affordable housing. It's a lot of the similar points I mentioned earlier, right? So if we're able to allow folks to live in their home longer and they're more comfortable and they're paying less, it's
Right.
really achieving both, right? So we're really helping with the affordability issue. We're helping with the housing issue. We're a lot of this work too. One thing that a lot of people don't understand is it's preserving housing stock. So if our work, we're able to go in there and air seal, insulate, make the home better overall with various improvements, that's just going to make that household and that home more resilient, whether or not it's for the family that's living there now or the next family that's going to live in it afterwards. And that really helps with the housing issue as well. So I think, yeah, great question, but I really see them being tied together, and I'm sure it's going to be that way going forward for quite a while.
For those listening who are currently in the corporate role but feel a pull toward nonprofit or community work, what's the most important lesson you've learned since joining CHP in 2021?
If you're passionate about something, get out and do it. I think that's the biggest thing, right?
Yeah.
Is if you feel like you're missing something, right? And I think that's for me was the big thing. I loved the outdoor industry, and I still backpack and camp and fish and kayak to this day. But something was just not sitting right. And there's so many ways that we can all give back. There's so many ways that we can all help our communities,
Yeah.
big or small. There's so many ways to help volunteer and get out. And I think that's the biggest thing, right? It's just looking to connect with your own community, your neighbors. It doesn't have to be this grand thing. There's all kinds of small volunteer things that are happening every day in our communities. And so I think just getting out there and really trying to help folks out, right? There's a lot of us that we all need help in our lives at one point or another.
Yeah.
And so go out and help folks while we can. And I guarantee you'll feel really great about yourself when you do.
That's a great testimony there. That's a really great testimony because you're right. So many of us, go through life and, at some point we go, wow, I wish I would have done something else. Yeah, I wish I would have done something to actually give back. And so that's pretty awesome that, you've had the corporate life and now you're fully engaged in giving back. And that's an awesome story.
We all could use something, right? We've all been there. We've all gone through hard times and hardships. And so, yeah, just a little bit of time, a little bit of your time goes a long way.
Yeah. Yeah. CHP started in 1975. As we look toward the future, what is the North Star for energy solutions? Where do you see this program in the next decade or so?
Yeah, I think it's amazing to think through that, right? 50 years.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's really neat to see. And so it's only being here 5 years. I've already seen the growth, especially for energy solutions and not just hiring more staff and being able to provide a stronger workforce, and also serving more homes. But I think for us, the North Star would be to have secured funding going forward, right? We are a nonprofit that relies strictly on funding and grants. And so it can be tenuous and you're unsure of what the future holds when it comes to funding. And so these programs luckily have been around for 50 years. And I think for us to really feel secure and kind of know that the future can withstand for a long time would be some kind of strong programming, secured funding, and then that way the folks that really need this work the most will be sure to get it going forward and long into the future.
And a donor can donate directly to CHP Energy Solutions, correct?
They can, yeah. So a lot of our funding comes from the federal government, from the state of Virginia. a lot through our utility partnerships with Appalachian Power, Dominion Energy, Columbia Gas, Washington Gas, Old Dominion Electric. But yes, we also take private funding as well. And so if there are any corporations or companies or partnerships that are interested in connecting with folks about these programs, yes, they can certainly reach out to me and I'd be happy to talk through that with them.
Awesome. Excellent. Yeah. I mean, um, these things are great, but like you said, if there's not secure funding, they're not so great anymore, right? And that so money is there's plenty of money out there. It's may not be properly distributed, but there's plenty of money out there. So here, this is another way of giving back. It may not be doing directly what you did, leaving and now working in the nonprofit, but certainly donating money to a great cause like CHP Energy Solutions. This is directly helping people that need that help. And it's not a handout. It's just, hey, like you said, one is the knowledge, but the other part is, hey, do I afford groceries this week, or do I do I pay my energy bill, right? And nobody wants to be in that situation.
Right. And so they can have impact. And I think exactly what you're saying. They don't have to be boots on the ground and physically out in the community. It's another way to drive impact and be part of this impact. And those are real world things that people are literally trying to wrestle with day in and day out. Right. And so, yeah, you can be a part of that impact through a lot of different ways. And that's certainly one of them. So,
right. What final thoughts would you like to leave our audience?
Yes, if anybody is interested in these programs, please reach out to CHP Energy Solutions. Again, you can go to our website, chpenergysolutions.org. Our address, phone number, email is all on that website. You can reach out to our intake team. You can ask any questions. We're more than available to speak to you. And these programs are super impactful. A lot of folks certainly need this work, need this help, and we are here to make sure that we can serve our communities and connect with as many folks and provide you some kind of energy efficiency relief. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's, again, what an awesome mission you guys have. That's very impactful.
Well, appreciate you and the work that Mountain Valor does, and thank you so much for having us on and being able to share a little bit about what we do and how we do it, and hopefully getting some more folks interested in these programs. So we appreciate you guys as well.
Awesome. Well, it's been a pleasure chatting with you, Bradley. For those of you watching this podcast, I hope you receive some pearls of wisdom, and I hope you will join me for the next Mountain Valor podcast coming soon. At Mountain Valor, we believe that rural should never mean unserved. Whether you're a veteran looking for the benefits you earned, a neighbor wanting to volunteer your time, or a donor ready to fund our next mission in the hills of Virginia, or a partner organization such as CHP Energy Solutions, there's a place for you on our team. Visit mountainvalor.org today to donate, join our mission, or get the support your family deserves. Together, we can build a system our rural veterans have already earned, but never had. That's mountainvalor.org.